Today I want to look at one of the features in Final Cut Pro that can help you accomplish some very interesting techniques in your clips. For instance, in this particular clip, I want to take this particular clip and I want to turn it black and white. But I don't just want to turn it black and white. I want to leave one of the items on the table, that middle item. I want to leave it its original color. And to do that, I'm going to use the Final Cut feature called masking to accomplish that. And to make that happen, what I'm first going to do is I'm going to go up and I'm going to open up the inspector. The inspector window allows me to look at that particular clip and make changes to the clip and edit its function. So what I want to do is make a color correction to it and take all of the color out except for that one item. Now to do that, I'm going to go to color correction 1. I've got two choices. I can either use the eyedropper and add a color mask, which will then take out one particular color that you choose. In this case, I don't think that'll work because if you look close, most of the scene is about the same hue with that orangey look to it, and I actually want to keep the orange in, so that would be harder to do. So what I want to do is move over to the next mask, which is add a shape mask. With the shape mask, you're able to set up a mask either in circle or in square form and then isolate information within that mask. So now I click on that add a shape mask and you get a circle within that particular picture. Now I want to zoom in a little bit closer so you can see the way we're going to work on this particular mask, and I'm going to go up to 100% so I can talk about the circle a little bit as well. In the middle, I grab that center circle, which allows you to move the mask either up or down, right or left. And next to that circle, also attached to it, then you have another circle that will allow you to rotate the mask so that it is parallel or however you want it to shape to the item that you're working with. On the outside circle, that's the feather part, and on the inside is the main part of the mask. The feather allows a transition between wearing mask into the other item so that it's not so harsh. Sometimes you want a wide circle, sometimes you want a narrow one. In this case, I'm going to bring that in a little bit more because I don't want a wide band since I'm going from color to black and white, but I do want a little bit of a feather, so I'm going to keep some of it. In addition, inside you'll see a green circle, dots on the main circle, and then you'll see a white one. The green allow you to change the size of the mask. That way you can come in or you can go out, whichever one you need. The white circle, when you grab it, you have a choice of making, by pulling it, you can turn it into a square and or bring it back to a circle if you so choose. In our case, we want a square because the item we're working with is more square. Now I'm going to grab the picture and move it down so I can see the item that I actually want to feather out, which is mask out, which is the Reese's cup in the center of the table. To do that, I'm going to grab the mask and bring it down and begin to resize it as close as I can to this particular item. And as I get closer, we're going to move it down. One other thing I want to do, I've got it to the edges now. One other thing I want to do is I want to make this as parallel to this item as I can because I want it to just have that particular item in its original color while everything else is in black and white. So I'm going to bring this mask in as best I can and move it around until I get it to where it's shaped. Now, if I had set up this scene a little differently and put this item in at a different angle, we probably could get more of it in, but as we develop it, you'll see based upon the shot, we should do pretty good in terms of making this happen. So now I have this item covered, and what I want to do now is begin to change the color on the outside of this particular mask and leave all the color that's in there to stay the same. To do that, we're going up to correction 1. Under correction 1, if you go across to the end, you'll see an arrow, and by clicking on that show the corrections arrow, you now have a panel that will allow you to begin to edit this particular mask. Now at the bottom of the mask inspection, you'll see that you can either edit the inside of it or you can edit the outside of it. You can change its exposure. You also can change its saturation, or you can change the color. In my case, I want to change the saturation. And the reason I want to change the saturation is that I want to by taking the saturation out of the item, then it will go black and white. And I'll give you a demonstration. So right now it's clicked on the inside. So that took the color away on the inside, but that's not what I really want to do. I want to do just the opposite. So I'm going to click on outside and then begin to change the color on the outside so that all the items outside are black and white. And now you can see that the inside of the mask, it did retain its color. You'll also see that you'll be able to see a little bit of the desk in color here. So now you can adjust the mask a little bit more by tightening it up. You also can rotate it a little bit more to maybe take some of the desk out of it to refine what you have there. Now, if I zoom in even a little closer at 200%, and let's take this window here and drag it down. You'll even see I still have one little piece here that might show gray if you were to get this close in, but most people won't view it that way. They'll view it as the actual size. So I'm going to show it to you in the actual size, and you can see now it would be very difficult. I'm going to click back on my inspection window so that I can cut the mask shape off so you can see now what it looks like. By clicking that mask shape off, now you can see everything else is in black and white, yet it retained its color. And because it's only a 2-second clip, it would be hard for the eye to really focus and pick up on that one little corner there of the package that did not get turned off. Now, I will say that there are other items on the market that could do a more refined job of this, but if you don't have those plugins and you don't want to pay the money for them, Final Cut Pro's version 10 has this mask in it that will allow you to do the shape. Now, the next question might be, well, what if I want to move that item? What happens to the mask then? Well, I'll talk about that in the next section on keyframing this so that as the item moves, everything stays in black and white except for that item which is in color.